Hello, beautiful Spouse Force family. Welcome today to Unique Career Spotlight. I'm your host, Jennifer Bond, and today we have a special guest for you, someone you should know, and her name is Kelley Klor. Welcome, Kelley. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, Jen. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. You are so welcome. We are excited today. We are going to learn all about Kelley and her unique career. So I want to just welcome everybody today. And don't forget to like and follow and share us. And so we are going to get right into it. Kelley, tell us a little bit about your career journey. First, tell us what part of the military you're in, how long you've been a spouse for,
Sure.
and your career journey.
Sure. Thank you.
Mhm.
Well, I am an active duty Air Force spouse. My husband has been active duty for about 14 and a half years now. We've been married for 17 years. So shortly after he enlisted, we started a family, and he ended up finishing his degree and commissioning about halfway through. So I've been pretty much following, his career and parenting as a military spouse for the last 14 years.
Wow, sounds real supportive. He'd be nothing without you, right?
I think he knows that. I'm sorry about that.
No, awesome. No, we love dogs. Dogs are a part of our Spouse Force family.
He's a new dog. We just adopted him from the Humane Society yesterday, so he's still getting to know our family a little bit.
Oh, nice. What kind of dog?
He's a Labradoodle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love dogs. Well, okay. So, Kelley, interesting. So tell us about your career and what makes it so unique for you.
Well, since before becoming a military spouse, I had like the traditional, go to work, put in my hours. I worked in a hospital setting for a few years. I finished my degree, and then my husband decided, I'm going to enlist. And I said,
You're like,
let's
what?
do it. But, I was a little worried about careers. Through that time, traditional work just didn't work for our family.
Right.
It was difficult to find childcare whenever my daughter was young. And not only that, but my husband worked a lot of swing shifts. And his work schedule was just never really that predictable. So I could rely on him, but I couldn't really rely on his availability.
Right.
If my daughter was in daycare, I was worried about whether he would be able to get there on time and pick her up. So just the traditional work just didn't really work for us. And I needed something that was flexible, and I needed something that could work around our schedule. And to add to the complexity of being a military spouse, we also homeschool our kids.
Oh.
So, that kind of threw out the type of jobs where I would be out of the house and away all day long. So, a few years ago, about 5 years ago, I started contracting, and I did that remotely. And I found a couple of nonprofit organizations that I really enjoyed working with, and just providing like remote administrative support and program support. And that's really worked well for our family. It's given me that flexibility to be with our kids and to go do the fun homeschool stuff that we get to do, and to still earn some income for our family.
Wow, really interesting. So you actually homeschool and you work both?
Yes.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
know. Half the time, I don't know how we get everything done, but we do.
Yeah.
So
You were two hats. Well, more than two hats, but yeah, that's
too many, I think.
Too many, yeah. Well, Kelley, why do you think this career is such a good fit for you?
It's a good fit because, well, first of all, it allows me the flexibility. And secondly, I'm really passionate about a lot of the things that's why people get into nonprofit work, is because they're passionate about stuff. So
Yes.
the nonprofit organizations, including Blue Star Families, which I've been a Deploy Fellow, Food Insecurity Fellow for the past year, I'm passionate
Mm.
about that because that's something that I've had life experience of. My family was food insecure for the first probably 2 or 3 years that we were in the military.
Mhm.
And I want to advocate for those issues. I want to advocate for military families who are going through that struggle, because it's still happening, and it's hard. And spouse employment's a big part of that. Whenever
Yes.
spouses can't work those traditional jobs, like I was talking about, and
Right.
earn income, and they're moving, and their spouses are deploying, and things like that. So that's what I really enjoy about nonprofit work, is that I get to feel like I'm part of the conversation, and hopefully part of the solution.
Interesting. Yes, really, really interesting. So, just a little shout out to our homeschool moms and dads that are in the military and working. What would you say is like the key to being able to do both of them? Like, do you work around your kids' schedule, or do you do like school in the morning and then work in the afternoon?
Um, I break it up throughout the day,
Okay.
and I really try to block off. This is the time that mom's working, and this is the
Mhm.
time that we can stop and we can have lunch together, and this is the time that we can go for a walk together, and work on some of the things that my kids are interested in. um, some families do it way different than we do, and that's
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
You have to figure out what works as a family for you. um, my kids are a little bit older now, so they're pretty independent, and they're really motivated learners. So I don't have them sitting at a table doing worksheets for hours on
Right.
end. And so that's something that works for us. And for other homeschool families, maybe a boxed curriculum, and having a really organized scheduled day works for them.
Hmm.
So I think that um, with work and with homeschooling, and whatever you choose as far as what you're going to make work, you have to think about your family's needs, and think about your individual circumstances, and
Yeah.
you'll figure out what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, that's awesome advice. Thank you. I
Sure.
love it. So Kelly, what would you say your day-to-day involves as a food insecurity fellow? Because that's a really interesting, unique title. Like,
It
what does your
is.
day-to-day look
I Every day is probably a little bit different,
like? Okay.
honestly. Some days I'm interviewing people and writing blog posts. Other days I'm reading the latest research. And other days I am presenting to different panels and trying to educate other people. And other days I'm talking to people from other organizations so that we can form partnerships, so that if a
Mm.
family were to come to us and say we need help, then we say, okay, here's this and this and this that we can connect you to, and get the help that you need. So it's a little bit of everything. And plus, with Blue Star Families, with this work, I'm also helping with the military family lifestyle survey, which is fielding now, and I hope that you take the survey. I'm
Love the plug,
organizing. I
yes.
got to plug it. I'm organizing the survey ambassadors, and making sure that our survey ambassadors are getting the communication from the organization that they need to be successful with doing their jobs too.
Mm.
So um, I don't know that I necessarily have a typical day in this. It's just kind of a lot of little pieces that come together.
Yeah, it sounds really like a lot of different variety, which is really nice.
It
And
is.
you
I don't
don't
get
get bored.
bored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. So what would you say, Kelly, would be like some, tips or tricks that you could share with our military spouses to how they could explore options like you have, doing a unique career like you have.
I oh sorry.
No, no, go ahead.
I think that everybody has unique gifts and talents.
Yeah.
And I think that you have to really kind of inventory those talents and those skills that you have and think about it in a way of this would be really helpful for this organization or for this business. If you're creative and you love to create graphics, there's a need for that. And if you're a good writer and you enjoy writing and editing, there's a need for that. So, if you're good at organizing financial information, there's a need for that. Businesses need bookkeepers. And those are all different career options that you can do as a contractor and you can do around your schedule. I think that communication is key and communication's really important. And I think also that there are more training opportunities out there than I've ever seen as a military spouse.
Really?
There's a ton of organizations that, offer free and low cost training to military spouses so that they can start learning how to develop some of the skills like project management or bookkeeping or graphic design and things like that. So, really get out there, see what you're interested in doing, and then start looking for those programs that you can learn from and that will help you improve your skills.
Right. Yeah.
And also, take advantage of if you're volunteering, those are important skills too.
Right.
If you're doing volunteer work. So leverage that and share that and show people that, this is what I've been doing and this is what I'm good at. You have to really sell yourself too.
Oh, that's a good point. Yes, you'd be a good career counselor, Kelley.
I have several friends that come to me and they're like, I don't know how to, get into what you're doing. And I love to kind of guide them along and help them and, take advantage of just what's around you.
Yeah, that's really good advice. What would you say is next for you? So what's next for you in your career?
Well, for the past 5 years and including this fellowship, I have been working remotely. I've been working with different nonprofit organizations in like a programmatic support role. So the fellowship has been such an amazing experience, and we still have so much work to do in food insecurity. So I'm staying on with Blue Star Families as a contractor, which is awesome because it's part-time and I can still, do stuff with my kids and I can still, work in this area that I'm passionate about. So I'm staying on as a contractor to continue Nourish the Service, which is a program that I've been able to start since becoming a Deploy Fellow. And, I hope that someday we're so effective with this that I don't have to have a job in food insecurity anymore because it's not a problem and it's been solved.
Yes.
I don't know if we're ever going to get to that point, but that's the goal. So that's what's next. I'm just going to keep offering this support with Blue Star Families and hopefully to military families that need some extra support.
Well, we're so glad that you're on our team because you sure do have a passion for it. You can tell. So that's awesome. How can we support you, Kelley, in your career trajectory, would you say?
I don't know. I'm always usually the one that's like, let me help you. So
I was just going to say that.
It's hard to... It's hard for me to answer.
You're not used to that. Yeah, you're used to helping people.
You know what? Look out for each other as a community. We really have to take care of our community because our most vulnerable military families, we've got to make sure that they're strong. So food insecurity is not something that should be shameful. Food insecurity is something that we should look at and say, that's not right that you have to deal with that. And there are resources. And I know someone at Blue Star Families that can help you out. So I think that's what would be the most helpful. Just share the resources with each other, look out for each other, and,
Yeah.
let's keep our community strong.
I love it. Absolutely. Look out for one another. That's awesome.
Yes.
Speaking of our community, I want to say hello to some of our community right now. I see you, Amber and Tracy. Welcome, welcome. And it's so good to be a part of this community. And thank you for reminding us to look out for one another. And thank you also for reminding us about the survey, the Blue
Yes.
Star Family Survey. We want everyone to take that, and don't forget to like us and share us and follow us. Well, I just want to say thank you so much, Kelley, for coming on and
Thank
being
you.
willing to share what you do with us. It's so exciting, and we just want the best for you. We wish for the best for you and your family
Oh,
and
thank
your new
you.
dog. And
He's laying back down. So,
oh, is he? Okay, yeah, he quieted down, so that's nice.
yes.
So, yeah, we really appreciate it, and we want to thank everyone for watching, and we will see everyone next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.